On the news, FEC approves National Poverty Reduction Plan. Tension as Senate debates insecurity. And ex-police officers reject contributory pension fund. Many thanks for joining us on News Now. I am Oni Adekunle. To address the worsening rate of poverty in the country, the Federal Executive Council has approved the National Poverty Reduction with Growth Strategy submitted by the Presidential Economic Advisory Council. Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, who briefed State House correspondents at the end of the Council's weekly meeting, said FEC also approved that the strategy be incorporated into the medium-term National Development Plan of 2021 to 2025 and Agenda 2050. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo will also chair the steering committee to provide overall guidance for the implementation of the strategy. Adesina added that the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, has been directed to prepare a bill for submission to the National Assembly to make the implementation of the strategy sustainable. And there was tension on the floor of the Nigerian Senate as senators took turns to air their views on the deplorable security situation in the country. Debating a matter of urgent importance raised by Niger lawmaker Sani Musa, senators lamented that the country had moved into a state of total collapse and urged President Muhammadu Buhari to take full responsibility for the massive security failure. TV360's Folashade Ogunride reports.
Anger, fear, uncertainty. Those were the emotions on the faces of visibly angry lawmakers in the red chambers. Some senators were of the opinion that the federal government had been evasive on issues that ought to be given attention.
I can authoritatively confirm that the Boko Haram terrorists have mounted their flags in many of the villages they have captured, such as Aure, Alawa, and Magami. Inhabitants of these war-torn parts of the states have been abandoned and left to their fates, thereby compelling them to wallow in perpetual agony and abject misery. That the continuous security challenges and related attacks by bandits in towns, villages, and communities in Shiroro, Rafi, and Munya local government areas of Niger State have meted untold hardship on the people and has subjected the affected areas under serious survival threats.
Mr. President, the situation we found out in our country today is not irreversible. It is that the problem is that we have not been able to pay sufficient attention or take this matter seriously. Sri Lanka, Colombia, Israel, they've gone through this road and they overcame them. So we should not be ashamed to seek support and assistance of such countries to help us.
Our relations, our people cannot sleep. Every day killings here, killings there, killing over there. Kidnapping, raping. What do we do? And the funny thing about us, Nigerians, we will sit there and make a lot of noise. At the end of the day, nothing can be done.
For some, the security situation is an emotional one, considering the number of lives lost on a weekly basis.
Let us shout and call for foreign support. I am a APC man and I've been supporting my party. But the president should get to know that it has gotten to a point that we who are supporters, who are members of the APC, we can no longer keep quiet. The president must rise to the occasion. You know why I say you not see the truth and you are afraid to say it because you will die? We must open, Mr. President. The nation is on fire. The president must rise to the occasion.
As a solution, apart from recruitment, mass recruitment into our armed forces and the police, that will happen now, we should invite those that can help us to fight this warfare. Invite Americans, invite British, invite everybody that can invite. This is the time.
None of us here can say we know the process that this government intends to use to battle insecurity. And in a country that is so ravaged that we're almost inching towards Syria, we must know what government wants to do about insecurity.
Subsequently, the lawmakers called on security agencies to deploy troops to ungoverned areas in Nigeria.
there is no level of arm of government that is not concerned about the security situation. Everybody is concerned. What is crucial is for us to buy the bullet. We must appropriate funds, even though that's not the only way out. That's not the only solution. But the military, particularly our security agencies in general, require additional manpower, so much manpower.
A minute's silence was observed for all the victims of the act of criminality in the country by bandits, kidnappers, and terrorists. Folashade Ogurinde, TV360, Abuja.
Lawmaker representing Niger East at the Nigerian Senate, Sani Musa, has said the Red Chamber is not considering a motion seeking the impeachment of President Muhammadu Buhari. Musa, while reacting to a question on why lawmakers have not made a move to remove Buhari from office over insecurity, said impeachment is another crisis that the country does not need. Sani said what is needed in the country at this time is to unite towards tackling insecurity.
In every situation, the exigency of that particular situation will give rise to a solution. When the Niger Delta militants were agitating, they were agitating for what? Good welfare. They were agitating for control of the degradation they are having in their environment. Hardly can you hear them going into the villages of the same people they say they are protecting and killing them. They did not do that. So if the Niger Delta militants were given amnesty, I do not subscribe to any amnesty for criminals that keep killing people in the name of religion. It's not religion, it's not Islam. This is the holiest month. The holiest month where you're supposed to suffer and reflect. When the peasant farmers cannot go to the farm, our little children cannot go to school. What do you mean by amnesty? I believe that the insurgency we are having today, the bandits we are having, the Boko Haram people we are having today, we should give them any amnesty. If they like, let them surrender their arms and seek for rehabilitation. Then we know that they are serious. But it should be carrot and stick.
The Nigerian Senate has also confirmed Justice Salisu Abdullahi as substantive Chief Judge of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Justice Abdullahi's confirmation followed the consideration of a report by the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters. The chairman of the committee, Okweyemi Bamidele, said Justice Abdullahi has a range of experience and possesses the requisite leadership qualities to uphold the dignity of the High Court of the FCT. Justice Salisu Garba Abdullahi has been in an acting capacity as FCT CJ after the retirement of Justice Ishaq Bello in January 2021.
The appointment of the nominee satisfies the requirements of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as altered and the Senate Standing Orders 2015 as amended. 2. That Honorable Justice Salisu Garba Abdullahi has a wide range of experience, comportment, exposure, and possesses the requisite leadership qualities of a judicial officer to effectively superintend over a court of such magnitude and complexity, and can exercise restraint and uphold the dignity of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and the litigants in the discharge of his official functions.
On the screening of Mr. President's nominee for appointment as the Chief Judge for the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and approved the nomination of Honorable Justice Salisu Garba Abdullahi as the Chief Judge for the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Honorable Justice Salisu Garba Abdullahi for appointment as the Chief Judge of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Honorable Justice Salisu Garba Abdullahi is hereby confirmed as the Chief Judge of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Congratulations.
The Senate President Ahmed Lawan has sworn in Frank Ibezim as the senator representing Imo North Senatorial District. The clerk to the Senate, Ibrahim El Ladan, administered the oaths of office and allegiance on Ibezim on the directives of Lawan during Tuesday's plenary. Ibezim replaced the late Benjamin Uwajumogu, who died last year. The All Progressives Congress APC won the by-election seat, but the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC did not declare any specific person as the occupant of the seat. The issue lingered between Ifeanyi Ararume and Ibezim before the Supreme Court declared Ibezim as winner.
With this oath taking, the Imo North Senatorial District is fully represented, and I want to thank the delegation that followed our distinguished colleague to the oath taking. Congratulations.
Niger police retirees under contributory pension scheme have made a passionate appeal to the leadership of the National Assembly to quickly amend the Pension Reform Act of 2004 to exempt the police from the contributory pension scheme. The police retirees, led by their leader and legal advisor Ofem Mbang, stormed the National Assembly on Tuesday armed with placards with inscriptions that narrate their pitiable condition. TV360's Americano reports.
Another protest at Nigeria's Parliament building. The National Assembly in recent time has been synonymous with protests, and this is definitely not an exception. The only difference is that this protest is by old men who have served in the Nigerian police force and retired meritoriously. The old men are here to kick against the decision to include those who have been in service before the enactment of the Pension Reform Act of 2004 and the contributory pension scheme. According to the ex-police officers, the decision was entirely that of the then Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris.
The benefit is that I will collect 300% of my annual salary, which in the circumstances at when I retire, I would have been going home with not less than 6.5 million naira as gratuity. But I will pay only 1,741,000. There are some even inspectors who are paid 700 and something thousand naira as lump sum. That is why some policemen retire within 1 month, they die. Because when they hear those of us who have retired, that a policeman retire as a deputy superintendent or a superintendent of police, you go home with only 1.5 million, 1.7 million, 1.8 million, and you'll be going home with 30 to 40,000. Some of them have developed high blood pressure and collapse.
The retired officers stormed the National Assembly with written petitions addressed to both the President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, and the Speaker, House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila. The group argued that the law in question was enforced retrospectively and as such against natural justice and cannot be enforceable on them, especially as it did not take into consideration those of them who have been in public service.
I do not know the offense that the police commit, that they say that if they pull out police, the system will collapse. If it collapse, well, we are starving. We cannot meet our responsibility at home. We have plenty of children. Some are still in school. After retirement, you still train people in school. How do you meet training your children, feeding your family with 40,000 naira?
We feel cheated. Number one, because before we were enlisted into the Nigeria Police Force, we were under the Defined Pension Scheme, DBS. But along the line in 2004, by this time we have already served 20-something years in service, we were told that the new scheme has been introduced called the Contributory Pension Scheme, in which we were going to contribute part of the pension benefits and the federal government contribute. But on retirement, we are seeing that only a partial sum is paid to us. Like me, I retired as a CSP in 2017. I was paid only 3-point-something million. And beyond that too, my monthly take-home pension is just 48,000 naira.
The police retirees believe they have been badly shortchanged under the new law as it did not take into consideration the reasonable number of years they had served. Mary Kanu, TV360, Nigeria.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, has identified intelligence sharing amongst partners and the international community as key to addressing the myriad of challenges confronting Nigeria. Onyema made the remark during a meeting with the British Minister for Africa, James Doddridge in Abuja. While he concedes that the nation is grappling with issues that border on security, economy, and of late COVID-19, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, however, is upbeat that with the present stance of the federal government, there would be much more improvement. The visiting British Minister for Africa expressed delight that COVID-19 figures are dropping and the death rates as well, and assured that the United Kingdom remains committed to Nigeria's cause and the Commonwealth.
But the government is determined and tackling all these issues with great determination. Interestingly, the economy is showing signs of improving. Over the last few months, the figures have been better than I think even the international financial institutions had anticipated. So that's a cause for optimism. And we're also engaging, like so many other countries in the world, with the challenges of vaccinating our people, and we're pushing ahead with that. Mercifully, our figures are going down, the numbers are going down, and we, fingers crossed, appear to, like the UK actually, be on the downward path.
As ever, the issues of the day, be that the Chadian crises or COVID, and our strong support through COVAX, and it's good to see the vaccination program starting to commence with rigour here in Nigeria, because unless we're all protected, ultimately none of us are protected. We need to build back post-COVID, particularly around health issues, non-COVID related, where we've seen the Ebola experience showed how damaged things like maternal health were, but also the economic impact of building back to levels of growth across the continent that make us blush in the UK.
And to commemorate his second year in office, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has been commissioning several iconic projects in different parts of Lagos State. Sanwo-Olu started with the launch of the construction of the new Mercy Street Children's Hospital located on Lagos Island, which is poised to be the biggest children's hospital in Africa. The governor also commissioned state-of-the-art facilities at the Gbagada General Hospital on Lagos mainland. Our correspondent Abisola Adebayo has the details.
The coronavirus pandemic has in many ways exposed the loopholes in the country's healthcare sector, with public hospitals at substandard levels, leaving millions of Nigerians with little or no access to adequate healthcare. To mark his second year in office, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration has decided to make a difference in the healthcare sector in Lagos. To this effect, the governor is launching the construction of the ultra-modern Mercy Street Children's Hospital, which will be the biggest of its type in Africa.
The construction of the new Mercy Children's Hospital reflects our unwavering determination to bridge all gaps in the health sector. This government is driven by the desire to build a formidable and an equitable state with productive and healthy citizens.
The hospital, which has been in existence since 1914, would be rebuilt to 7-story, 150-bed, ultra-modern and fit-for-purpose pediatrics programmed and emergency general hospital.
I want our hospitals to change. Those that are existing, I want you to fix them properly. And those that we're going to build, I want them to look different. And the mandate was that they should be low on energy, they should be easy to maintain. We should pay attention to infection prevention control. We should pay attention to the comfort that our staff will experience as they work in these facilities.
To improve the state's COVID-19 resilience, Governor Sanwo-Olu also commissioned an oxygen plant as well as a new blood transfusion center at the Gbagada General Hospital, among other projects.
This also improves our COVID resilience. This oxygen plant and the ability to collect samples. We have a shortage of blood in Lagos, so by making this place the headquarters of the Blood Transfusion Center, we repurposed a facility that was developed for COVID, and that's been our strategy, not to invest in temporary facilities anymore, so we can repurpose as the need requires.
Appreciating the governor for his commitment to infrastructural development in the state, some dignitaries at the event pledged their continuous support to enable the administration achieve its mandate.
To the residents of this area, please, for God's sake, we have to cooperate 100% with the contractor. I have written to them, as was stated in the summary presented to us, all the culverts, electricity, water, something, they should put them back. But you have to cooperate with them to serve you better.
April 28, 2021 marks exactly 700 days that Governor Sanwo-Olu and his deputy, Obafemi Hamzat, took over the reins of government in Lagos State. The government says it will not relent in ensuring adequate healthcare is provided for Lagosians. Abisola Adebayo, TV360, Lagos.
We'll take a short break here, but still to come, Lagos to take advantage of the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement. Details of that and more shortly. Glad to have you back. Now, here's a quick reminder of some of our top stories tonight. Nigeria police retirees under contributory pension scheme have made a passionate appeal to the leadership of the National Assembly to quickly amend the Pension Reform Act of 2004 to exempt the police from the contributory pension scheme. We also told you that lawmaker representing Niger East at the Nigerian Senate, Sani Musa, has said that the Red Chamber is not considering a motion seeking the impeachment of President Muhammadu Buhari. Now, in case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, do log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on all our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. Nigeria on Tuesday recorded one COVID-19 related death and 156 new infections in 11 states. With one new death, the fatality toll in the country rose to 2,063. And this is according to an update published by the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC. According to the Public Health Agency, 156 new cases were reported from 11 states, with Lagos leading with 50 cases, followed by Enugu and Adamawa with 43 and 40 cases, respectively. With the new tally, Nigeria has recorded a total of 164,912 infections. And India hit record numbers of COVID-19 infections worldwide for the 6th day running on Tuesday as the country's overstretched health system started receiving vital medical supplies to deal with the pandemic. Several nations have pledged support with the first shipment of COVID medical supplies, including 100 ventilators and 95 oxygen concentrators arrived from Britain early on Tuesday. India has been logging over 300,000 cases since Thursday, when it surpassed the previous highest one-day spike of around 300,300 cases in the United States in January. India has also been seeing its highest daily number of deaths over the past week. We'll take another short break here and return with business updates. Please stay with us.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Welcome back. Let's now join Abisola Adebayo for the latest developments in the world of business. Over to you now, Abisola.
Thank you very much, Oyi. Welcome to Business News. The Lagos State government says it is ready to take full advantage of the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement by positioning the state as the hub of economic activities in the continent. Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget in the state, Sam Egube says this in Lagos on Monday at the opening of exhibition and conference for manufacturers in the country and the sub-region. This next report has the details.
This is the Nigeria's premier trade show for manufacturing, engineering, machinery and supporting industries. The exhibition and conference put together by Equipment and Manufacturing West Africa is aimed at restarting the manufacturing sector after almost a year of no activity due to the pandemic. As the economy of nations kickstart again, the Lagos State government says its target is to become a big player in the continent and take full opportunities of the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement.
Apapa has reached its full capacity by far. When the deep sea port comes operational in both its phase 1 and phase 2 is completed, it will drive 4 times the capacity of Apapa. We are also in very deep conversation around the Badagry deep sea port, basically to just create the readiness of Lagos State to begin the competition in the African Continental Free Trade Zone. In that zone, it will not be countries competing with countries, but cities competing with cities. And people will move from city to city and trade across, and we want Lagos to be that hub. As a result of that, we know we must develop the capacity of our people.
The State Commissioner for Economy, Planning and Budget says Lagos State is on a mission to harness the opportunities inherent in technology to drive different sectors such as transportation and others.
The idea is that we are planning for the future. We are preparing our people for the future. We are speaking to Africa to say Lagos is ready really for business. In line with that, we are going to be flagged off a 3,000-kilometer broadband fiber duct infrastructure around Lagos, basically to bring the high-capacity internet capacity through all the underwater cables into the homes and into the industries.
Organizers of the event say the impact of the pandemic on manufacturers is a bitter lesson that can produce sweet results. The exhibition is expected to create new opportunities for manufacturers and their partners to reassess the market and come out with new innovations that will help the industry.
The exhibition is just one thing, and what we said is to restart, is to rebuild, is to recover. The pandemic has basically crippled a lot of businesses, right? And exhibitions like this is to help businesses get back on track. That's our message for this year's exhibition, and that's the message we are going to stick to.
The main goal here is ensuring that manufacturers and everybody who has come here will be able to get value and go back with, more knowledge, more opportunities than they had before. Just because, it's been a tough year and we are happy to see the economy opening back up. And so people can be able to get on a solid footing to take their businesses and their brands to the next level.
The exhibition is also designed as a networking platform for achieving strategic and organization goals in relation to building sustainable partnership across Nigeria and West Africa. Abisola Adebayo, TV360, Lagos.
We'll take a break here and return with stock market review. Do stay with us. The bears maintained dominance on the floor of the market after a long streak of gains recorded since the previous week. All-share index today recorded a 1.330% decline to close at 38,781 basis points. Market capitalization also lose over 200 billion naira today to close at 20.296 trillion naira. Moving on now to our losers list. We can see that FTN Cocoa, Name International Breweries and PZ Cousins brought the market to a decline today. They recorded a combined 1 naira 11 kobo loss. While on our gainers list, gains from Cheap PLC, Pot Paint, as well as Royalex and ABC Transnational. They are top 4 gainers today, but they could not stop the market from falling, even though they recorded a combined 26 kobo gain. We can now see our market summary right here. On market summary for today, a total volume of 259 million shares valued at 1 billion naira, exchange hands in 3,547 deals. That is the situation of the Nigerian stock market today. Moving on now to the international scene, that's the FTSE, the Dow Jones and the Nikkei. The FTSE, that's the London stocks, it closed in the positive territory today, and that's because it started gaining in early trading today as global markets were set to celebrate bumper profits from Microsoft and Google owner Alphabet. It recorded a 0.27% increase as it closed today. Dow Jones, however, it closed in the negative territory on Wednesday after a mixed bag of earnings from big technology firms, and Dow beat Boeing results, while investors hope that the Federal Reserve will stick to its promise of keeping monetary policy loose, which was why it recorded a 0.33% decline. Nikkei, Japan stocks, it rebounded from previous session losses because yesterday it recorded a loss, but today it rebounded and closed in 2.03% increase. That's all on stock market review. We'll go on a break and be back shortly. Corruption not in my country.
Hello, Alahaji. Right now I'm in Abuja. No. Hello, Adamu. Right now I'm in Kano. Yes. When I get back, I will just call you. Look, what is wrong with you? I'm talking on the phone and you are gesticulating and doing. What's wrong with you?
Daddy, where exactly are we as we speak?
Are you alright? This is Lagos.
Well, you just lied to someone that we are in Abuja.
Keep quiet. Who told you can tell an elderly person is lying?
Daddy, you just lied. And by lying, you are raising corrupt children for the future of Nigeria. That is corruption, not in my country. Corruption not in my country.
Many thanks for staying with us on News Now. Now, on the foreign scene, more than 30 prisoners have escaped after a police van transporting them to a magistrate court was attacked by gunmen in Pietermaritzburg in South Africa. KwaZulu-Natal police spokesperson Jane Naika said 5 heavily armed attackers pointed firearms at the policemen and forced the back of the truck opened. He said 31 awaiting trial prisoners escaped out of the 45 that were in the truck. A manhunt has been launched for the escapees. And it's now time for Entertainment Report on News Now.
Nigerian comedian Princess has identified the teenage girl defiled by popular Yoruba actor Baba Ijesha as her foster daughter. In an emotion-laden lengthy video, Princess revealed that the immoral act happened in her house when Baba Ijesha came to ask her for help. She said the actor had warned the girl not to tell anyone about the incident, but eventually the girl opened up and explained what had happened. The comedian said she was shocked when the young lady voiced out. Immediately they devised a plan to catch him red-handed on CCTV cameras installed in her home. Burna Boy's mother and manager Bose Ogulu has been named as one of the 2021 International Power Players by Billboard. Billboard's International Power Players list recognizes leaders in the music industry on a global level. Honorees in the list include label executives, music publishers, independent entrepreneurs, artist managers, and concert promoters. Mama Burna, as she's fondly called, is nominated alongside Simon Robson and Monica Konya. And that is all that's for your entertainment segment of News Now.
And in sports, Manchester City will go into the biggest game of their campaign as they face Paris Saint-Germain in the first leg of the semi-finals of the Champions League slated for Wednesday at 8 p.m. With the Premier League title almost secured for City, the focus for Pep Guardiola's side will be defeating the stars of PSG, beginning with tonight's first leg in Paris. Both City and PSG dominate domestically but have never won Europe's biggest prize, ensuring this will be an intensely contested Champions League tie. Well, that's the latest update on News Now at this time. Well, thank you for watching. I am Oni Adekunle.